look at women through a male lens. So I'm looking at you, but obviously as a guy, through my own eyes, and thinking, like, I would think the way that I look at women, and I just think that's not the way women look at us, for sure. And I think I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube in the past, and maybe I'll get one here about, oh, well, you know, Ali's this really good-looking guy, and that's why he does really well. End of story. And I disagree with that.
Before they get into depth and start commenting, I want to say, yes, the way you look at a girl and you see that her face is attractive because your mind likes the symmetry, it thinks that it has good genetics, and you see her nice bunda and you're attracted to her, maybe she has nice long legs or something. That's what women are doing with dudes too. They're looking at the dude. Oh yeah, he's nice and tall, he got some nice wide shoulders, his face is attractive to me, I don't know exactly why. But I like it, and that's the first sign of interest, and that's the main instigator for attraction in the first impact.
Because I think the reason that you're successful in single life and also with relationships is because you're a nice bloke, very happy, you know, fun to be around, and just very outgoing. And I think it's those traits that shine.
Okay, wrong and right. I'll first say the right. Girls do like a social dude, a charismatic dude, and a guy who is happy. I'll get into a short depth. First of all, before the copers are out here, oh my god, looks equals personality, height equals charisma and confidence. It will add a stronger effect. But guess what, buddy? That's not how it works, because girls will understand a dude if he's actually funny, or okay, maybe not funny, but nice and happy and confident, and they will prefer to be with those sort of guys. And me, before I ascended, I was still going on dates with girls and stuff like that. Why? Because I was actually doing real personality maxing. Now you guys say personality's all looks. Shut up, you little whiny ass little mental cell bitch. Guess what? You don't have personality. You don't even know what it means. So it's funny that you even come with that sort of argument. Now, are looks important? Absolutely. When it comes to attraction, the most important. I will not negate that. I will not deny that. But guess what? That will get your foot in the door. But once you're in the country to renew your passport, you're going to need to have some character and personality. But anyway, these guys seem like they're more on the red pill lane, where it's all about game and charisma and stuff. And let's see the other points they make.
And I liken it to a guy, I remember shortly after my boot camp in early 2014, I was going out with this guy who, he saw me approach and he was kind of doing the same thing. So we just hung around with each other for a bit, for a couple of weeks. And he was like mixed Brazilian German, and he was like one of the best looking men I've ever seen, like literally better than David Beckham, but like a young David Beckham. And he was approaching, but he was severely weird and had a lot of issues, and he would initially get quite a good impression, but he would really struggle to get numbers. Women would never text him back.
Listen to this point. He actually spit some black pill truth. So he would get good reactions, initial reactions. Why? Because he was a good looking dude. A lot of the time these red pill dudes, when they say a dude's good looking or a girl's extremely hot, they're like high tier normies, high tier Beckys and stuff. Let's even say this guy's a light Chad, okay? That he's talking about. They can mog themselves as well, boys. Believe me, they can mog themselves as well. They can also be mental cells, and they can be weird. And the girl's not just going to be hyper fixated and look past all of it, because guess what? There could be another dude that could be a viable option. There could be another dude that's a viable option. So imagine if it can sometimes be over for mental cell Chad lights. It can be really over for a normie who's a mental cell or weird, socially weird. That's why I'm always saying, guys, apart from looks maxing, you also have to be social maxing. You have to be, that's not like, oh my god, just do a cold approach, guys. No, make friends, go out with them, go to activities so you actually understand how human interaction works, not just sitting in front of your screen. It's a bit hypocritical of me, because now, because of my job that I do, and I also do YouTube on the side, I'm in front of my screen a lot, but I already put in the effort and I already developed good social skills. Years of it, years working in hospitality business, always interacting with people, working in different businesses that interact, also like going to clubs and stuff like this, and as well as, of course, being in relationships and having good friends. And it's important, do not negate it.
And he would really like try and get upset, but well, he just couldn't really work it out. And at the time I was still kind of learning, so I never really fully understood what was going on, but he was, I don't know, he was like damaged goods, unfortunately, and women just smelt it like a mile off. And even though he would dress, you know, amazingly well.
Also, you can mog yourself if you're a very attractive dude by being the instigator. If you're approaching some Becky, they're literally gonna think something is wrong with you. It's very weird, but they're gonna think something's wrong with the dude because she's like, he's very attractive, so why is he approaching me? He should have abundance. So guess what? If you're a very attractive dude, you can actually be mogging yourself by approaching.
And walking around in boots and a turtleneck.
Not always. It also depends how. Justin, he does approaches, and he does hecka good. He does terra good. But that's because Justin is going with the right frame, with the right attitude, and he's going very confidently and stuff like that. And he's not doing the Chad mog. Me, believe it or not, self shit on. Me, what would work for me would be doing nothing and just letting the girls give me the attention or coming or sliding into my DMs because I did not have the proper way to approach. When I was a normie, I could do it. Even a high tier normie, I could. Now as an attractive dude, I don't know the proper way to go at it. And that's why I don't do it. So be careful.
Sweater in winter in London, he was really struggling. So, like, what would you say to that accusation that, like, oh, well, you know, you're like picture pretty for a Sydney postcard, and that's why you do well with women?
Thank you. Well, firstly, thanks for the huge ego boost here. Try not to fall over with the weight of my own head now, but I definitely think it's misguided to think that looks mean as much to women as they do to men. I think it's women are looking generally for stability more so than men, especially those men.
The first things that make black pillars seethe, it's true that women do look for stability much more than men, of course, that's a big goal, but that does not negate the fact that it is looks that impact them for the attraction.
And who are out sort of chasing the dragon, just trying to, you know, get their body count up. I think as guys, often if we are just, you know, looking to get our leg over, then looks is kind of the only thing that matters sometimes.
Damn! I didn't reach this part of the video. I was skimming through the beginning and I saved a certain timestamp. But he just said a black pill truth. He just said it. Chad, very, very cool that he admitted that. He's down to earth.
And I think women typically, because they've got biologically and evolutionarily like so much more to lose by sleeping casually, you know, having sex casually. I think women are always more cautious and always looking for stability, and so I think that comes across far more in your personality and in the way you treat a woman than just the way you look. So I think it's no good being an absolute 10 out of 10, you know, Greek god, if when you speak to women you just give them the sense that you're gonna f them over.
That is a good point. Girls can catch on to the classic F-boy trope and a very classic promiscuous dude. They will open their legs for the guy, but they will not stay with the guy. They might try and get him, and I've said this a lot. For those of you who don't know this, saying promiscuity is super overrated. For some people it can work, but for most people it doesn't. It will make you feel empty and miserable. But what people want and what they truly desire and they're content with is relationships. I'm the same. And if you want a relationship that's a healthy relationship, which is the most beneficial, you can't be a F-boy or a promiscuous dude because you're not gonna cuff the girl, so to say.
And as I say, I do try and date from a place of honesty and because I am personally always thinking ahead to, you know, looking for a relationship. I think when I do interact with women, I come from a place of honesty and trying to build a rapport. And yeah, not just trying to sit there with a smouldering look and, you know, wait for them to drop their knickers. You know, I just don't.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy's body language, how he's talking, how his personality is. He's chill. He's laid back. Even what he's saying is true in the fact that he's not there just acting like he's a shit. He's laid back. He's trying to get to know the girl. He's being a normal human being. And guess what? A lot of the black pillars guys, by God, I always say the majority are mental cells. They don't know how to act normally, even with their family. How do you expect to act normally with friends? And if you can't act normal with friends, how do you expect to be able to act normal with women? Case closed.
that works.
No.
So yeah, I think being able to work on your confidence and your chat is far more important. And getting a nice haircut and some smart clothes definitely doesn't hurt either.
No. And I think we both know guys who aren't good looking at all, but like they're working on or are delivering on what they can, like their fashion or their career success and so on. And there's plenty of guys that I've known and seen over the years who really aren't anything to look at, but they've been very successful in the business world, or they've worked on their confidence and had the best haircut that they can have and fashion and stuff, and they don't have a problem with women. And it's
I'll close it with that, boys. I don't want to keep the video too long. Guess what? The average dude is managing to get in a relationship or sleep with girls. The average dude is not being promiscuous. It's mostly about looks, about promiscuity, but they're managing to get girlfriends because they are healthy. They have the required amount of economic stability, of social circle status, and that's what a dude needs. They fashion max and stuff. The dudes who are really suffering and struggling, it's the black pillars, it's the mental cells. Also a lot of red pillars, believe it or not, because these are the Aspies of the world. And Aspies have always been getting mocked throughout history, and they still will get mocked. That's why I want to try and not be an Aspie. Simpler said than done. Have things gotten more difficult? Yes, obviously. We all know this. This is fact in the black pill because of social media, because of online dating. Women's expectations have become higher, at least outwardly. Believe it or not, inwardly, they will still settle for what they would have settled with. But the average dude's value has gone down, which means the bar is lower for you to be an above average dude. And you just have to get out of your house. I know. It's scary for some of you. And look around and see normies with normies, high tier normies with high tier Beckys, normies with normies, that's homo. But, oh my God, Brian, you don't know the dynamic. Yes, I do know the dynamic, and they're totally fine. Every relationship has its ups and downs, and it's weird or not. You guys are hyper-focused through your screen, which shows you the very worst of reality and the worst of humanity. You are completely and continually pushing the same copes and the same ideas in your head, in the forums you're following, in the discords you're watching, and watching videos of doomer, neurotypical, non-neurotypical, weird dudes. And those are the people that you're idolizing and you're basing your whole frame of reality and mindsets on. So no shit, you're gonna get mocked. So I'm happy you watched this video. Hopefully it will give you some life fuel and a little more understanding on reality. I'm not saying, oh my God, just do game, that's gonna solve everything. Oh my God, just looks max or fashion max. But no, you gotta put in the effort or you're never gonna be able to find out if you even can succeed. Peace, brothers. Thanks for watching.
That doesn't make sense.